Okay, here we go. Perfect. So, for anybody watching this that wants to know how to play Seafarers, today I will be teaching you how to play Seafarers, the Treasure Islands. So, just like my other tutorial videos, let me place my settlements first, and then I will be right with you as we go over the explanation. So we have a starting main island, which is the exact size of the first island, Base Catan Island. You have 19 hexes, if I'm not mistaken. 5 plus 8 is 13, plus 6 is 19. Good, good, good. Math is on point. So let me go ahead and look at this 8, 5, 10 ore port down below that I can cast off with ships. I would want some wood on the way back, which I think I can grab, and also wheat is actually pretty scarce on this board. I could also go for the 5, 9, 10. Yeah, let me go 5, 9, 10. I have a better feeling about that. And I'm going to go this way to the wheat port. The wheat just does not look strong on this board at all. And I'm going to not worry so much about ore as I try to quickly build to the coastline and get off the island. And maybe I'll discover ore, maybe I'll even discover gold. Okay, so welcome to the Treasure Island scenario. With 3 players, you can expect to play to 14 victory points with a 90-second round timer on Catan Universe. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 treasure islands to discover. And each treasure island has, well, each fog hex of each treasure island has 1 treasure chest that you can discover, that you can build ships out to discover. And the treasure chests hold things of value for you. So it is a good idea to go exploring in this scenario of Seafarers. So if I look here at the from the almanac from Catan Universe, we can see that I will read the description shortly here. Actually, maybe I can read it now while they're placing. The Treasure Islands. Treasures await the Catanians on neighboring fog-covered islands. Discoveries are rewarded. And as you see there, Purple started out by building directly on the sheepport, gets a ship to build, because if you build a coastal settlement in Seafarers, you can either choose to build a road on the coastline or you can cast out with the ship. So Purple chose to do that, immediately got salvage treasure. They discovered a desert hex. They then touched on the treasure chest, got that additional value, which was, I believe, an extra road or ship, and they chose to build an extra ship and discover gold. So they are, oh, actually, they chose a development card. You can actually get a free development card out of a treasure chest. So keep all of that in mind. So with that being said, I'm going to place my second placement. Of course, I want some brick. I'm going to look at this 4, 6, 11 actually, so that way I can touch on some ore, and I can also start out with a road. And with that road, I can build directly to the wheat port, double down on my 5 wood, and then I can cast off with ships pretty shortly after. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do just that. And I will elect to build to this 3-for-1 port, because after I build the 3-for-1 port, I can cast off with ships, and I will also have a very nice 3-for-1 port. So we actually start the game off with a 7. I am green, so I will elect to shut down. Let's see, purple has sheep amongst gold. Red would have, did they go 3, 5, 8 for their, because I could grab the wheat. I think we're going to end up stealing from purple. Or instead of moving the robber, I'm actually going to move the pirate ship so they can't discover anything too quickly. And there's a wood pulled from them, so we get the wood. And I think, yes, it is still in my best interest right now to snag the wheat port and the extra wood. I would suspect. And I can start building ships once I've settled on the 5-2 spot. And there goes a 5. Okay, so now we just need a we need a 10 for the wheat, a 9 for the sheep, and a 4 for the brick. So we will look for that as we get a 6. So the rules for the Seafarer expansion are in effect. So this tutorial assumes that you already know how to play base Catan. So please keep that in mind. If you don't know how to play, please look up another video or ask your friends to show you how, and figure that out, and then come back to this tutorial of the Treasure Islands. As a 7 gets rolled, and I suspect the robber will be getting moved now, unless purple really wants that pirate ship out of there, which they do. Okay, we'll take that so none of our resources are shut down. So discovering islands. Islands are hidden in the fog-covered sea. We talked about those 7 treasure islands you see around the perimeter of the main island, the starting main island. To discover these hexes, players must sail out into the sea with ships. Whenever you place a ship next to a fog-covered hex, the fog clears, and you discover either sea or land. So yes, in this scenario, some of these fog hexes could be just sea. More on that later. If you discover land, then you receive 1 resource produced by the discovered terrain hex as a reward. The treasures. Not only islands but also treasures are hidden in the fog-covered sea as we get another 5. Lots of wood, but we need some different resources here as red builds a city. Let me take my turn. I'll continue with the explanation. Another 3. Let me see if I can get a wheat for a wood. And we can. We'll take that trade and we'll pass. So not only islands but also treasures are discovered in the fog-covered sea as we get another wheat. 1 more ore, I can build a city. To claim a treasure, one of your ships must reach the intersection with the treasure. So you must touch the treasure chest with your ship. When you find a treasure, you are rewarded with additional resources or the ability to build additional roads or ships or a development card. So you don't know what you're going to get. You don't have the option to choose from those 3 things. It's just whatever you open up the treasure chest and find is what you get. Special victory points. Each foreign island that you build at least 1 settlement on over the course of the game is worth 1 special victory point. So this is huge because, for example, if purple decides to build a settlement on the 10 sheep down at the bottom right corner of your screen, they will get 1 point for the settlement. They will get an additional special victory point for building on a new island, for a total of 2 victory points for the price of 1 settlement. So that is very, very nice, and a very good strategic point here in the Treasure Islands. So I'm going to offer a wood for an ore. I don't know if I can get this trade, but that would help because I'm on 8 cards, and I would perhaps not like to burn cards. I may end up offering the wheat and the wood. Okay, we got nothing going there. I'm going to have to pass with 8 cards and seriously hope for no 7 as it gets rolled. Okay, so there goes all the wood and the wheats, and now we just need a 6, get the city. So purple here discovered, oh, the Monopoly play, and they steal the sheep. Wow, I got lucky there. I'm trying to see what happened when purple revealed water. So they only got a treasure, and they ended up receiving 1 brick, 1 wool, and 1 grain. Or you could call them 1 brick, 1 sheep, and 1 wheat from discovering the because if you discover a water hex, you still get something, even though it was just water. Because if you discover a land hex, you're either going to get 1 resource of the resource that you discovered, or if it's a desert, you will get the salvaged treasure, or if it's water, you will get the salvaged treasure. So do keep that in mind. As another 7 is rolled, and this game is not going how I was hoping it would. But as we go along, I will keep explaining. Okay, the 5s are great. I just can't seem to get... Maybe red will be favorable to me. Maybe they will want the wood, because I know they just got the ore. They have a counter offer, but I cannot take it, since I do not have a brick. And have not got one yet. Wow, lots and lots of 5s. So I will elect to build the city, just so I can get some more production going here. Unless red rolls a 4 or 9 and I get the brick or the sheep, then I have a much better chance of getting a settlement here. Okay, here comes the knight actually. If they shut red down, it's a guaranteed ore, but let's see if they shut me down. Oh, they shut us both down, and they'll steal from me to get the wood. So the 9 is actually a great shutdown because we both really would like to have sheep production. Okay, there goes the 6. I get the ore that I need, so now I can build the city. Wow, 5s are really just going crazy. I'm glad I built on a 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll upgrade the 5, 9, 10 city. Actually, I'm going to upgrade the 4, 6, 11 first, because like I always say, if I can get ore faster and then just grab 2 wheat when I can upgrade the 5, 9, 10 more quickly, at least in theory, if everything goes well. Okay, so basically we're still trying to get to the wheat port, because after we get to the wheat port, let me zoom in here for you. I can then build a settlement, and then from the wheat port I can build a ship along the coastline of the 2 wheat port line, and then build another ship out into the sea to this treasure island fog hex right here and discover hopefully gold, or if it's just a resource, that will be fine too. And then I can build up to the treasure chest and get a treasure from the chest. Okay, another 7. I will choose... Okay, red is getting powerful, but they don't have any cards, so I'll shut down them both on the 4. Get a card from purple. That is a lucky brick pool. But still, I await my settlement. So I'm going to hold the brick and hope for a 9 and then a 10. Okay, and then the 4 rolls. So now we have plenty of brick. So really it's going to be the 9 and the 10 here. And I did build the city on the 4, 6, 11. That is with the goal, with the intent to get a city more quickly, to get those resources faster, because I'm getting double ore now off a 6. So I can get the city up on the 5, 9, 10. Because then, with the city on the 9 sheep, I'll be getting double sheep, and that is going to help with shipbuilding once I'm finally able to cast off of the starting island. Okay, so we will roll here. It's going to be an 8. We don't have it. I could build some roads, but right now I think my top priority is to get off the island, as purple is done and red is also trying to do. There goes a 6. Right now, ore is possibly not good bargaining chip because Red already built their two cities. They don't have another settlement to build up to a city right now. Okay, there is an 11. Now the sheep, that is the hot resource right now. I shouldn't say commodity because in cities and knights there are commodities and those are different from resources. More on cities and knights tutorials in the future. Do not worry. Okay, this is a brick for a wood. This doesn't help me 4 for 1. I'm going to actually counter and ask for a sheep. Okay, I didn't do that fast enough. Okay, let's try it on my turn. There goes another 8. Let me see. He wants wood. Maybe I can get, this is a little crazy to ask for, but if I can get 2 brick and a sheep, then I can 4 for 1 the brick and get the wheat that I need to then build the settlement on the coastline. I am doing 3 for 3. Let's see if Red goes for it. They do say yes. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead with the trade. It was kind of a complicated trade that you rarely will see that happen, that it actually get accepted, but we are able to make it happen. So we will now build on the coastline, and now I will patiently or impatiently wait for the 9s, and thus so I can get some sheep and we can build. We just need 2 ships to build out to that fog hex, discover what it is, and then we will be hopefully rocking and rolling here on the Treasure Island scenario. And again, like I said earlier, we are playing to 14 victory points with 3 players. I believe that does change when you play with 4 players on the Treasure Islands. You might go to 15 victory points instead of 14. Purple does get the city. 6s have been very good this game. You can never discount the dice rolls and how they affect the Catan gameplay. So Red is going to actually roll a 7. Let's see what they shut down. If they move the pirate ship, that will be the best bet for me. But they're actually going to move the robber. Even though we had a good trade, they will shut me down the 5. And now they are also ready to build some ships. Okay, so only looking for the 9 here. Ah, the 5 that got shut down. That is highly unfortunate. Okay, we'll pass. So right now, Purple has the most hexes explored. Let's see if they pull the robber. I really hope they do. They might move the pirate ship to preemptively shut down Red from discovering this hex right below. Okay, they will move the robber and shut down the 9, which is... Actually, I'm hoping if I don't discover gold, I'm really hoping I discover a sheep hex up here, because that will allow me to build some ships more consistently. Because if you only have 1 sheep hex in this scenario, or in Seafarers in general, and if people keep shutting it down, it's going to be hard to get the production you need to build ships. And as I stated in my last tutorial, in Seafarers, ships simply cost 1 wood and 1 sheep, whereas roads, as you already know if you played base Catan, cost 1 wood and 1 brick. So it's just the wood stays the same, so you can actually kind of combo that if you're going for longish road, and there's a lucky wheat pole right there. If you're going for longish road in Seafarers, which actually, if you want to get technical, is called the longest shipping route, you can kind of combo roads and ships, because you actually, from this settlement placement, I can choose to build a road or a ship, but once I do build a road or a ship, I have to keep it the same. So if I build a road here off of this settlement along the 2, I have to then build another road. I can't just change it to a ship right away. I have to build 2 roads to the 2-6, let's say, build a settlement, and then I can change over to ships. So do keep that in mind. You cannot just build a road and a ship one after the other. They are always separated. Roads and ships are always separated by settlements or cities. because you're closing that open road or shipping route with the settlement, and then you open up a new line of roads or a new line of ships. Okay, so again, we are still stuck. So we will pass the dice as we wait for more favorable terms as a 9 finally gets rolled, but of course our 9 is shut down. So we will wait. This is going to be 2 ore for a wood. I'm tempted to take it, but I don't want to help them with that right now, so I'm gonna hold off on that. I believe that's they're holding a sheep. Yeah, they just got the 9, so that would literally give them the ship they need to touch this treasure chest. So we will not accept that trade. Because if I get a 6, I will get 2 more ore, and then I would just need 1 more wheat to build a city on the 5, 9, 10. And of course, if I roll a 7, I'm definitely stealing from purple now that I know they have a sheep. I roll a 12. Again, same as last turn, we're stuck, so we pass. Okay, another 7. Okay, now that red has built a ship, I suspect purple will move the pirate ship, and they will. It is highly strategic for them to leave the robber on the 9 sheep. Me and red's major source of sheep production, my only source of sheep production. Red still has the lucky 11 from time to time. Okay, if I get a 2 or a 10, we will build a city. I get a 3. There is wheat out there. Let me ask for 1 wheat for 1 wood. I know that purple would probably take this trade, which they will. I'm going to go ahead and accept it with purple because red still seems like the more powerful threat with the 2 cities, and they're casting out with ships now. So I'm going to build my second city, and now hopefully the production will ramp up here for me. And there goes a 5. So it's going to be 3 wood to add to our 2. If I can just get the 9 open for business, then we will be rolling with that. Maybe, perhaps I should have gone for the 3 for 1 port instead, but only time will tell how it plays out. Okay, so we saw their purple built on the 3-9. They discovered both gold hexes on, I think, the entire board. I think there's only 2 gold hexes per Seafarer scenario at a maximum. So purple built on this 9 gold, 3 gold desert treasure island for the first time with a settlement, and they got a 1 victory point for the settlement, 1 special victory point for building on a treasure island. So they went up by +2 victory points there as another 8 gets rolled. And I think at this point I might as well just 4 for 1 for the sheep and build a ship. And the other thing, that's what I wanted to say to you guys, my point earlier, is that you can combo roads and ships depending on the resources you have when you're going for a late game longest road steal or extension. Of course, in Seafarers it's called the longest shipping route. So what I mean by that is if you have 2 wood, 1 brick, and 1 sheep, that's actually +2 to your shipping route if you think about it. Usually you need 2 wood and 2 brick to build 2 roads to extend your road out by +2. But in Seafarers you actually have a little bit more flexibility because, as we know, a road costs a wood and a brick, a ship costs a wood and a sheep. So if you have 2 wood and a brick and a sheep, don't fret, don't fear, no worries, because you can actually build a road going one way off of you can actually build inland. In this example, I could build a road off the city going towards the 8, 3, 10, let's say if I want to build on that next. And I could also build a ship going off of my ship here, my open ship, towards this fog hex, and it would actually give me a 5-link shipping route. So sometimes you may not have the straight up 2 wood, 2 brick that you would normally be trained to think that, oh, I just need wood and brick to build out a bunch of roads to take longest road. In Seafarers, there's a little bit more of a little bit more strategy there, a little bit more chances for longest road to be stolen. So even though you might have it, someone could easily steal it depending on what kind of production they're getting. Whether it be you need a lot of wood to build the roads and the ships, or yeah, the roads and the ships. But just because you don't have a ton of brick, you can have a couple brick and a couple sheep, you could still make a big play with the longest shipping route. So always keep that in mind in Seafarers. As the 8s are now going crazy. So what I'm looking to do here, since the 9 is still shut down, if I can get a 5 or an 11, I will port the wheat at my wheat port at a 2-for-1 rate for the sheep that I need, and I will then touch on this fog hex on this top left treasure island on the board. It is a 5. We are blessed. So I will go ahead, port the wheat for the sheep, and let's discover our first fog hex. Let's zoom in here. It's going to be a 5 brick. Now, I can almost touch this other hex here, but I need another ship, which means I need another sheep to go with my wood, which I don't have at the moment. So what I'm going to have to do is simply, I could actually trade for a wheat if the people are willing. If my opponents on the board are willing, which they are not, which is fine, which is understandable. Okay. So next turn, I might, with the 9, once again shut down. That is probably the best robber placement of this whole game. Purple shutting down the 9 sheep. And there's really nothing we can do about it. And while our 9 is shut down, for me and red, purple is getting 2 of whatever they want from the gold. So if I did not already mention, like I did mention in my last tutorial, if I did not mention in this tutorial, when you build on gold, you get 1 resource of your choice. Now that purple has a city on the 3 gold and a 9 gold, whenever a 3 or a 9 get rolled, they get 2 resources of their choice, and they don't have to be the same resource. They could be 1 brick and then 1 wheat, or it could be an ore and a wood, or they could just straight up take 2 sheep. It's really up to them. Okay, another 8 gets rolled. I am really missing the 3-for-1 port right now. I'm going to ask for 3 brick, and I'm going to give 3 cards in return. Let's see if red will do this trade. I don't know if they do. I am giving them 2 wood and an ore, but I don't know if that's valuable to them. We'll find out here shortly. Okay, no response. I will build a road since I'm over 7 cards and pass the dice towards the 3-for-1 port, because now I'm sensing that the 3-for-1 port is going to come in handy here, which I maybe already should have gone for it. Okay, another big 5. We will absolutely take that. I discovered this brick hex. I'm hoping it is a sheep hex next to it, because now that I know the gold is both already discovered, I'm really hoping this is a sheep hex. There's already 1 sheep hex that's discovered. It is the bottom right treasure island. And they elected to go upwards to the treasure chest instead of going towards this fog hex down here. Interesting. And another 9. Okay, so I should also mention purple's getting sheep off their 9 and 2 of whatever they want from their city on the 9 gold. and they take 2 wood from it. So the 9 shutdown again is incredible. I will 4 for 1, 4 wood for a sheep. Here's the ship, and it's going to be a wheat. It is not what I wanted at all, but that's okay, because I will build the settlement on the 4 gold here, and then I will move my open ships over to the other side of the board when I am able to, because that is another big part of Seafarers. You can build a ship. You can build as many ships as you want, as your many resources, that you have. Once per turn, you can move an already built ship to another open coastal settlement or city on the board, which is very huge. So, for example, this ship that I just built on the 5-3, or port pointing towards the 5-3, I can actually, once I build a settlement on this 3-for-1 port, I can actually take that ship and move it over to this 4-brick 3-for-1 port settlement that I hope to build on my next turn. And once I move my ship over there, I'll actually end up touching this fog hex on this top right treasure island directly, and we'll get, hopefully, discover a sheep hex and get a sheep from it. Now my other option is to save up for 1 more ship, move this ship from the 5-3 up to the 5, and then build that additional ship to touch this treasure chest, because I think that will be certainly valuable for me. Which I could actually do on my next turn. I can actually port the 2 wheat for a sheep and then build that extra ship that I need, which I think I'm going to actually do that. And then I'll focus on the settlement on the 4 brick to cast out with some ships. Because I can always come back later and build in this 5-3 for the special victory point, but right now I really got to discover another sheep hex, because this is really painful, having to basically 4 for 1 just to get a sheep every single time, because the 9 continues to be shut down. I could roll a 7 though on my next turn. Okay, here we go. It's a 12. Wow. Okay, I will move 1 ship to here. I will then port the 2 wheat for the sheep, and we will build this ship and discover salvage treasure. So salvage treasure is huge because it gives you a brick, a sheep, and a wheat. And I ported the wheat just to get the sheep, but now I got it all back. So I will now immediately build a settlement on the 3-for-1 port. And on my next turn, I'm going to start actually moving these ships over to the other fog hex. Now, I am definitely going to build on this 5 brick later on in the game, but for right now, I desperately, to catch up to the other players, I must discover more fog hexes to get more resources and hopefully sheep hex and more treasure chests, because that is really the name of the game when you're playing the treasure islands here. Okay, finally we have the robber moved off of our 9 sheep, and it will go on to purple's 9 gold, and a 9 finally gets rolled. This is incredible. I finally get my 2 sheep off my city that's on the 9. Red does end up taking longest road, and we're going to 14, so I'm getting a little worried because red can quickly get up to 14. They just need to build a settlement on the 2 desert island for +2 to go to 11. They need to build a settlement on the 5-3 to go up another +2 to 13 victory points. And as another 9 gets rolled, okay, now it's sheep galore. So we're going to move our ship. Remember, you get to move 1 ship per turn. If you could move more than 1 ship per turn, that would honestly be overpowered. As such, you cannot. So I will wait to move this ship from the 5 brick over on my next turn. In the meantime, I'm gonna build another ship and to see what I discover here. It's gonna be a wood, so I can actually build 2 more ships if I want. I would like to build the settlement now, but I think right now I just have to go all out for it. And Longest road's at 10. If I build 2 ships this way, I don't touch this treasure chest. I'm not that far, so I'm actually going to go up here and get this treasure chest. It's going to be 1 more resource. And I'll take a wood. And I will elect to build another ship. Okay, so on my next turn, I will move a ship and then hopefully build a settlement on the 4-6 for the special victory points. I could see purple putting it back, the robber back on the 9 sheep, because I had an explosive turn because of the 9 sheep, which they do. They shut red down. And now me and purple have a race out to the last treasure island. There's 2 more fog hexes to be discovered. They will settle on the 9 gold again, so they don't get a special victory point because they already have a settlement there that was upgraded to a city. And another 9 gets rolled. I cannot believe the 9 sheep shutdown has been this effective, this destructive for me in red this game. All I can hope for is to get a roll of 5 would be helpful. We'll see what happens. And it's a 5. Okay, so that's good for us. Now here's the thing. If I can get a wheat from anybody, that will be superbly helpful so I can port it. I don't think I'll be able to get it because they know I have a wheat port, so they'll know it'll be 2 for 1-ing. Okay, so nothing going there, so I will just go ahead and move my ship. Point it right here. So I cannot build a ship on this turn. I could just move 1. So next turn is going to be huge for me as long as the pirate ship does not get placed in my area. So we get another 5. So if I didn't already mention, in Seafarers you can either move the pirate ship or you can move the robber. You have options there. If you move the pirate ship, it will shut down a water hex spot, and if someone has ships in that water hex spot, you get to steal a resource from them. If they do not, you do not get to steal a resource from them, only if they have ships there. However, they cannot build any new ships or move any ships to the water hex that the pirate ship occupies. So do keep that in mind. You can strategically place the pirate ship depending on what situation you're in and how you're trying to shut someone down. Red does go all the way up to 11 victory points. I have 9 wood. I need to have a good turn right now, and another 9 gets rolled, and the 9 sheep once again is shut down. I cannot stress enough how destructive that robber placement was by purple. So I'm going to move a ship, discover a treasure chest and a fog hex, which is the absolute best. Okay, so I'm at 7. I don't know if I think I have to go for longest road as the correct thing to do here. So I'll take 2 sheep, and I do get some salvage treasure. And it is actually additional ships. This is huge. 2 ships or 2 roads. So what I can do is if I connect up my ultimate longest road, which will cost me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I do that though? Is the question. I think I have to go for it at this point. So I'll build a road here, a road there. Oh, actually, that was on the wrong system, the wrong road system. Yep. That was a blunder. I'll admit that. Let me build a ship and another ship. I get some more salvage treasure. It will be a knight. Okay, and I'll pass with that. So I'm at a 9-length road. I should not have built those 2 roads. I should have built them off of my 4, 6, 11 city. That was the wrong play. As another 9 gets rolled, and I'm just flabbergasted by these 9s at this point. But I did discover 2 treasure chests and a fog hex, which turned out to be water, but I still did get salvage treasure. Purple actually takes longest road, but I am very much set up for a long-term ultimate longest shipping route steal. I just need to build 3 more roads to do so, so a roll of 4 would be supremely clutch in this scenario. I'm going to want to probably steal the longest road before I build any settlements or cities. And the reason for that is because my opponents here are getting pretty close to winning the game. Of course, red just has to build on the 2 ore and then get down to the 4 ore, and then they will win. So I'm going to go ahead and use the knight. I'm tired of it being on the 9 sheep, and we will shift it over to the gold spot and take a wheat. I'll then roll the dice and hope for a 4. It will be an 11. Red does get 4 sheep, which is huge. Okay. So I will move a ship to go to 10. I can't quite grab the longest road here. But I will do my due diligence. I will go up to 12, and I just need 1 more road to take longest road and hold it for a long while. So there goes a 7. Red will burn cards, which is good. Purple might be looking to shut me down now because I'm threatening their longest road steal. If they get the cards for a settlement to build on the 10 sheep, they win the game. They steal from red, so they have 4 cards in hand. If they have a Year of Plenty development card, we're absolutely done with, but they do not. They pass. They could have a Victory Point development card. As another 7 gets rolled, it's going to come off the 9, but where is it going to go? I'm suspecting it will go on purple on the 9 gold. Okay, I have a very important turn right here. We are going to 14 victory points, so excuse my saying that purple would win. If they build the settlement on the 10 sheep, they'll go up to 12 with the special victory point. As another 5 gets rolled. Okay, so we certainly have time. We definitely have time here. I will elect to simply 3 for 1 the wood for the brick, and now I have a very longest shipping route, 19 to be exact. And now I can start to build some settlements on these treasure islands, now that I have that secured. There goes a 9, that's good for us, and also purple has their 2-citied 9 gold shutdown that is also huge. So now we have even the playing field by stealing longest road, the longest shipping route, and we hopefully have it for a long time, because this is also important. In this area where I connected up my 2 shipping route systems, if you will, red cannot just cut it off by building a settlement there. They cannot build a settlement on the 3, 9, 10 because I have a city 1 space away. They also cannot build a settlement on the 3, 4, 6 because we each have a city 1 space away. So they will move the pirate ship. That's to be expected. We're getting shut down now. I will roll another 5. Okay, so now we're getting closer here. I could go for the development card play. I already have a knight played. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to buy a development card. I'm hoping it's a knight, which it is. That's going to put me to two knights played on my next turn. There's a 7, so I'm glad I did that. And now, as I plan to play the knight, I also am going to try to get the cards I need for a settlement, and I'm going to build it on the 4, 6 spot because it will give me coordinated 4s, so I'll get 3 brick and a wood off of a 4, And then the 6 will give me coordinated 6s. I will have 2 ore and 1 wheat off of a roll of 6. So here we go. It is another 5. 5s are incredible. I will also get coordinated 5s once I build on the 5 brick. So my plan here is to build on the 4-6 spot to go up to 10 victory points by building on that top right treasure island, and then build on the 5 brick and go up to 12 victory points by building on the top left treasure island. Here the night will now be played, and I'm going to choose to shut down. Again, I think it's red, because red can easily build. They just need 2 settlements and they'll go up to 13 victory points. And we of course do not want that to happen. I will elect to shut down their 11. Yes, let's do that. And we will get an ore, and then I'll roll the dice for another 5. I cannot believe it. I will absolutely take it. Now I have to go ahead and buy another development card to secure the largest army, because that's going to be +2 victory points for me. And it is a night. We're doing great. We are absolutely doing great here. There goes a 3. Wow, that is a lot of wheat. That is actually very scary. Red just got 6 wheat, because they have 3 separate 3 wheats somehow. Somehow they got that coordinated. Purple did get 3 gold off, or 2 resources from the 3 gold with the city. Now if red rolls a 7, which they do not, the game, this is very worrisome. The game is, they do build the city there. Okay, so the game's not quite over. They do build the settlement on a new treasure line to go to 12. If they build one more settlement on the 2 ore, they win the game. Okay. That 3 was absolutely destructive. Let me roll the dice first, and then I will decide where to move the... It is another 5. I cannot believe it. Okay, here's the deal. If I can get a brick from red, I will be able to build a settlement. So I'm going to try for that. Here goes the knight. That's going to be the largest army for me. I'm going to shut down the 5 brick, because they have coordinated 5, so I'll shut down one of them. And I pull the wheat, which is actually still okay because I do have the wheat port. So I'll port the wheat and the wood for the brick and the sheep that I need. And here goes nothing. Here goes a settlement for 12. Now I just need one more settlement to win the game. I will build it on the 5 brick, so it is a race between me and red, although I think I may lose to red because they do have plenty of ore and brick, and they do have a 3-for-1 port, and they probably have a wheat left over, so I think the game may be over unless they roll a 7. They roll a 2. Okay, so I think they won. I don't have the cards to do so on my turn unless I roll... I would have to roll actually a 9. 9 or a 4, I could do it. So this is your Seafarers the Treasure Islands tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, as red secured the last settlement on a new treasure island to get the +2 victory points instead of just the +1 for the settlement. I thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down in the YouTube comments below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so I can get to 1,000 subscribers. You see the YouTube count on the screen. I'm at 825 currently. So in Seafarers a Treasure Island scenario, you see that is my case in point. Usually the game is won in the treasure islands by someone building on a treasure island to go up by +2 victory points, because all it costs is a settlement. Of course, the ships to get out to that treasure island, but that is generally a fast way to get +2 victory points in the treasure island scenario. So you have seen it here, 14 victory points. Make sure you can either get on two good starting spots for production, like I tried to do, and then go out to the coastline to then build out to the treasure islands, or you could try like Purple did, where one of their starting settlement placements on this treasure island scenario is on the coastline, and they can get to the treasure islands more quickly. The only downside to that is Purple's production was not as good as mine or Red's, so you could get overtaken like Purple did late in the game. And what Purple should have done is, instead of building the settlement on the 9 gold a second time, which was good because it's gold, they should have gone for the 4 ore and got the special victory points, because they would have been closer to winning. And then they could have additionally gone out and got this treasure chest. They had all these open ships out here for a while. They could have shifted some over just to get the treasure chest, just to see what it was, and then maybe even gone up to the desert, built on the desert for another +2 victory points. So I think that's what Purple should have done. Their game would have been different for them. But again, this has been the Treasure Islands tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, like I said, leave them down in the description, down in the comments below, and we will discuss. And I think that's it. I will see you in the next tutorial, and happy kataning.